Eoin Morgan hit an unbeaten 79 off 34 balls as Middlesex thrashed Glamorgan by 84 runs to claim their third successive victory and move into second place in the Friends Provident T20 South Division. These are the highlights from Richmond. Glamorgan won the toss and decided to field, always a risk when Adam Gilchrist and David Warner are opening the batting. Gilchrist was making his return to Richmond, the club where he played as a 17-year-old. He'd really been looking forward to returning to Old Deer Park, and he soon let the Glamorgan bowlers know about it. The moment they strayed off their length, the Australian was onto it like a flash, as he hit 6 after 6 to take the score up to 50 in the first 5 overs. What's really good news for Middlesex is that Warner is just bedding in pink and getting used to English conditions. Much more will be seen from him. He went for 13 this time, bowled by David Brown, who gave Glamorgan some respite by taking 2 wickets in 3 balls. After seeing the back of Warner, he then had Neil Dexter smartly stumped by Mark Wallace for a duck. There has been a noticeable difference of tactics since Gilchrist took over the captaincy, and that is that even with the loss of wickets, the batsmen have the confidence to go on. As Shaun joined Gilchrist, that was the case here. How thankful the county must be now that Gilchrist agreed to stay and captain the side. They'll be hoping in more performances like this before he leaves after the match at Lord's on June the 24th, although he did say in a recent interview that he would never say never about a return. There seemed to be no stopping him as he raced to 50 off 29 balls with 3 sixes and this 6th 4 off the rotund Mark Cosgrove. It was a real surprise when he was out trying to turn Robert Croft on the leg side and given out leg before for 51. That, though, only brought in Morgan, who was soon displaying his array of brilliant shots. Shaun, too, was striking the ball cleanly as a 100 came up in the 12th over. But this was all about Morgan and his extraordinary shot choice. This is how he treated one of the fastest bowlers in world cricket, Shaun Tate. Jim Allenby was treated with disdain as he was smashed around the park. And Brown had his good figures ruined somewhat by the England man who made his first really big impact of the summer for his county. Brown could do nothing but stand with his hands on his hips after Morgan slapped him for another 4 to bring up his 50 off only 22 deliveries. Brown went for 6 and 4 fours in 1 over. Shaun could watch and admire, but he also played his part in a fantastic partnership of 88 in 8 overs. That was ended when Shaun was caught by Brown at deep mid-wicket off James Harris for 30, but he'd helped the total to 170 for 4 with 3 overs remaining. And what a 3 overs they turn out to be, as Middlesex, thanks to sublime hitting by Morgan, recorded their highest ever T20 score. To make it harder for Glamorgan to bear, David Milan was badly dropped by Dean Koska, who appears behind the bowler Allenby in the penultimate over. And he really made them pay for that by smashing Tate for 2 sixes and 3 fours, this shot ending on the pavilion roof. As he finished unbeaten on 27, Morgan's onslaught saw him to 79 off 34, as Middlesex made a massive 213 for 4 in their 20 overs. Glamorgan made a brisk enough start with Allenby striking Tim Murtagh for an early maximum. And Cosgrove was able to smite the ball from Garethburg over the ropes and point to everyone where the ball actually went. But the task of keeping up with the rate was never going to be easy, especially after Cosgrove had been well caught by Dexter running in from deep square leg off Berg at 37 for 1 in the 4th over. If Glamorgan were to have any chance at all, they had to take full advantage of the power play overs, and Allenby and his captain Jamie Dalrymple were all too aware of that. They took the score to 57 at the end of the 6th over to give themselves a little hope. But a cluster of wickets ended their dreams. Dexter picked up 2 in 4 balls, starting by bowling Allenby for 3 and then having Tom Maynard stumped. But it was the introduction of Tom Smith which really turned the game Middlesex's way. He had Dalrymple caught at long off for 9. And he then dismissed a dangerous Brown with his slower ball on his way to T20 career best figures of 4 for 23. That wicket had seen Glamorgan slump to 70 for 5, and although Gareth Rees started to put bat to ball, including a switch hit for 6, wickets did continue to fall in the panic as the run rate required increased. Wallace was bowled by Shaun Udal for 2, making it 87 for 6, 127 still needed from 9 overs. Something quite incredible from Rees was their only hope. But he gave Udal his second wicket as the former skipper produced excellent figures of 3 for 24. Smith had Harris easily stumped by Gilchrist at 121 for 8. And Gilchrist completed another outstanding day by taking a catch off Smith to remove Koska for 6. The match was finished with 3 overs left. Tate swung a ball from Udal out to Warner in the deep and was gone for 5 as Glamorgan were dismissed for 129 to lose by a massive 84 runs. So it's 3 wins out of 3 under Gilchrist, and Middlesex will feel very confident of making it 4 in a row when they take on lowly London rivals Surrey. That's next at Lord's on Thursday.